So you've probably been in this situation before where you're on defense and someone's running one of these wide formations where they're either going to run the ball on you or they're going to throw these RPOs. They're super annoying to defend. So how do we stop these? How do we at least slow these down? Well, very, very simple, actually. I think a lot of people overlook this, okay? So first of all, let's call our play. On defense, I don't care what formation you're running, but what we want to do is immediately use the right stick at this play call screen and go all the way over to a cover 2 shell. I'm just flicking the right stick left or right until I see cover 2. From here, we want to call cover 3 or a cover 4, okay? So, let's go back here into the play call screen. Let's now call cover 3 sky, all right? From here, what we're going to do is if we just leave everything just like this, okay, what's going to happen? We're going to stop the run. We have, plenty of people in the box to stop the run. But if they call an RPO, they're able to get some decent yards. What we want to do here is split the difference, it's called. So, take our flat defender, hold B or circle, and then push the left stick all the way outside. Let's get on our flat defender. You see me on him right here. It's this curl flat. We're going to move him inside to about right here. It's hard to see a little bit, but he is now splitting the difference between the bunch and the offensive line. Okay, and this would work if they're in like double stack, gun, some sort of gun wide, anything like that. And now, if we try throwing this, look who's right there. Just like that. He's going to make that tackle. If you put him in a hard flat, he could even potentially pick that off. But me personally, I am so fine with doing that every single time. So again, what are we going to do? We're just going to split the difference with this guy. Get him about right here, give or take. I'll put him in a hard flat this time. And now, we go here. We go throw it, and he's getting hit as soon as he catches it for a gain of pretty much nothing. You just can't run an offense like that. And what's nice here is that we also have, think about it. What do we have in the box right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the box, which means that we're going to be able to play pretty good run defense as well, which, if they keep the read option, we're going to get into that in our next segment. Now, College Football 25 has a ton of very annoying ways to play offense. In this video, I'm going to break down every way to stop these annoying offenses to hopefully help you get more stops on defense and ultimately win more games. So if that's something you want to do, let's get into it. Whether it's the first play of the game or it's just a huge third down, you've probably had this happen to you a few times where someone just runs a read option, they get super easy yardage. Really, really annoying. It feels like it's just like a gimmick kind of gotcha play. So easy way to stop this is every single game. First thing we're going to do, this is every single game you have to do this. Click the right stick in on defense. Then that's going to bring up these coaching adjustments. Let's scroll down to option defense read key, and we're going to put this on conservative. That's going to focus on the QB on the option, and it's going to leave the handoff open. That's going to allow them to hand the ball off into the teeth of our defense. That's where our user should be as well, which we'll talk about some shotgun run defense here in a moment. But to make sure this works correctly, let's run a read option, and we should see Bell right here make the play on Milrow. Let's see. We're going to pull it, and he does. Now, if they somehow break the tackle, that's just football, baby. But right there, we're able to tackle Jalen Milrow. Easy way to stop the QB read options. You need to do this every single game. And if you want to get into the nitty and gritty and like get into the specific setups you should be calling on defense, I actually just released an entire defensive scheme over on civil.gg out of the nickel 3-3 stack formation. And this is actually a brand new blitz that I found just the other day right here that I'm showing that this is, in my opinion, the best defense you could be running right now, whether you're online or offline, whether you're just picking up the game for the first time or you're playing against some of the best players in the world. This defense has been incredibly successful for me, and you get 30% off right now by using code CIVIL30 in the link to the top of the description, and you also get access to everything else on the site. It's not just this defense. It's over 180 individual pieces of content. So I'll see you over there, and now let's get back into the video. Something I've talked about a ton in our offensive videos is how good quick underneath routes are, like drags, or like in this case, we also have this kind of like speed in route from our halfback, create a little mesh concept underneath. This stuff is really, really tough to defend consistently, and you see like right there, we're just going against random defense, able to get really quick dots. If you want a little offensive tip from this video, run drag routes from your tight end. Drags are very, very good, especially if you get something going back the other way. Awesome. How do we stop this though? Well, it's actually very simple, okay? So I don't really care what defense you're in, whether it's playbook, formation, anything like that. I personally, my favorite defensive playbook is the 3-3-5 tight. That's what all of our schemes on Civil GG are out of, or the most recent schemes are out of. But for this, I don't really care. What I want you to do though is call cover 3 or cover 4. Now remember, we talked about cover 3 and cover 4 earlier with defending those wide formations. So now we're kind of getting a little common denominator between things. I like to do a lot of the same. I like to defend a lot of things from the same looks, okay? It makes it easier for me. Now, we're gonna use that right stick, go to covered shell 2, okay? And then let's call cover 3 match right here, but it could be cover 4 as well. It could be cover 3 sky. All we wanna do, press Y or triangle, and then we're gonna go down on the right stick. That's gonna shade our coverage underneath, okay? Just like that, by shading our coverage underneath, guess what's gonna happen to the drags? Bang, pick 6, just like that, you're done. Now, with this as well, some people will be like, okay, Civil, I want to do this from cover 2. I don't love this from cover 2 because, or Tampa 2, because you only have 2 deep blues, and if you shade underneath, everyone's going to be playing about 5 yards of depth, and then you just have those 2 deep blues, so it's really easy to, like, beat them deep. So, like, it's really easy to do this, to cover 2 shaded underneath. So I wouldn't do that. Cover 3 and cover 4 shaded underneath, really, really good. And remember, when you shade cover 3 and cover 4 underneath, you no longer will run any kind of match. And also, notice right there, that was a hard fight that just played that. One of the big things with shading these coverages underneath is that you're actually going to make people attack the most difficult area of the field to attack, which is kind of the middle area. And what I mean by that is, like, they're not throwing a streak, right? They're not throwing something super deep, but also we're taking away everything at the line of scrimmage, meaning they have to attack this, like, 5 to 20 yard area, which guess what? That's where our user is, which we'll get to here soon. That's where we could switch stick. That's where we have some adjusting potential. Really, really good way of just setting up a very base defense, right? And of course, are there ways to beat this? Yes, that's football, baby. But this is a great way to stop those underneath routes that are very, very annoying, and I love using. Oh, so if you've ever played this game online, you've played against these dudes who just snap the ball and they throw these seam routes, right? It looks something like this right here. Just boom, boom, snap the ball, throw the seam. Usually it's out of like a 5 wide, right? Like this, or it could be out of like a trips tight end, something along the lines of that. And it's very annoying. It's very, very annoying. Let's talk about how to slow this down. We have a few different options. The first one I want to show you is like just the most like conservative, easy way to do it, which is just out of any formation, calling some sort of cover 4. So cover 4 quarters. We have a cover 4 palms. I think we have a cover 4 drop in here as well, somewhere. Cover 4 drop field. And then what we're going to do is press Y or triangle and go down on the right stick. That's shading our coverage underneath. Keep in mind, I do that a lot. You see why. It's how I defend a lot of different things. Or it's my base for a lot of different things. Now, this won't totally defend the seams, like if they throw it super early. But what this will defend is it'll defend the seams late, okay? It can make this a tough throw kind of late into the play, right? Whereas instead of being a touchdown like it was earlier, now this is a pick because we have 2 safeties in inside quarters, okay? And, you know, you kind of see that here on the right side. They kind of wait a second. It's going to make this a pretty tough throw to be able to make consistently. Still a throw they can make, though. You can see that. You just have to be a decent player, right? If I just try pass leading that up, it's going to be picked off, right? So you're at least making them be a halfway decent player, time it better, et cetera, et cetera. And we can show this again, this time to the left side, right? I tried throwing it how I've been throwing it. It's going to be a pick 6 unless I snap throw it. Now, obviously, there's still openings in that, but that will work against a lot of people. Let me be very clear. So next way I want to slow this down for you guys is actually by, I don't care what defense you're in, but I want to select a cover 2 shell. Okay, that's right on the right stick. Notice again, I'm using the same ideas I use for a lot of stuff and just transferring it over and over and over. That's how I play defense. That's me specifically. Some people have totally different setups for everything and how they want to defend everything. That's fine. Just not how I've had success playing defense in, you know, numerous years of Madden and college football now. So from here, I want to call a cover 3. We can go cover 3 sky. With this, I'm going to press a wire triangle down the right stick. So again, we have that kind of shade underneath. Where you're saying, okay, Civil, well, what is this going to do? All right, well, big thing that this can help do is immediately we're going to have an extra player in the middle of the field, right? If we're in cover 4, we're typically going to only have 1 yellow zone. Here, we have the ability to have 2 yellow zones. But actually, what I'll end up doing is notice how there's a middle third on my field right now, right? That middle inside third. He's rolling from the right side. So what I want to do actually is the seam that I'm scared about is the left seam. Why? Because the middle third is coming from the other way. That seam is wide open. So whenever I see this and I'm in cover 3, I actually want to try using that left seam and just take it away until late into the play. Like that right there. That's one of the easiest things we could do is just the side that our cover 3 is coming from, user the opposite side, okay? So the middle third's coming from the right. I'm going to go user the left. If there's no seam threat, cool. If there is, now just user him. And then as that ball gets deeper and deeper, or as that route gets deeper and deeper, he's not going to be as open. Let me show you. Right? So let's say I'm right here. Great, 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 great. Now I'm going to peel down. They're just, you can't throw wide. It's just such a long throw. It's not going to be as open. It's easily picked off. Now on the right side here, we do have some worries, okay? Right? Because they could technically do something like this, where they quick throw that, and that's going to be pretty annoying. Couple different options we have here if they are forcing that throw. One, you could just leave the curl flats. You don't have to shade underneath like I showed, okay? So I'm just going to take away my user here. The curl flat will chuck that guy, and it's going to lead to a pick. So imagine we use to the other side, leave that curl flat, he's going to chuck him, okay? Boom, again, chuck him. That's a tough throw to make consistently right after that pop. Now, they could do it, but it is a tougher throw. If they are doing that, what I will do is simply take the curl flat who's on this side and either put him in a vertical hook or just man that seam receiver up. And I'm just going to say, nope, you're not throwing it to you anymore. You're done. We have numerous players here, okay? So a couple of ways to slow these bad boys down. Another thing we could do as well, and I'm kind of giving you guys a lot of different options here. If you like this style segment, let me know. I'm not being as like precise and as direct as I'd like to be, just because these can be annoying, and I want to give you guys different options based on what your opponent is doing. Something you could also do here is go man coverage and press Y or triangle, go up on the right stick. That's going to shade over top. Now, if you're going to use or a linebacker, you just have to know who your man is, but this will also take away the seam like you see there. Then you just need a pass rush of some sort. So a few different ways to take away seams. It can definitely be an annoying route, but it's also one of the most baitable routes that you can get interceptions on. You've probably played against this style of offense before where someone just keeps on throwing corner routes on you, and if you defend the corner route, what they're going to do is they're going to throw it right underneath on you. It's super annoying, but it's a good style of offense to play, honestly, right? And usually it looks something like this. We have an out route or a flat, a streak to push everything back, and then you have a corner route. And so like right here, I'm just going to throw the baby out route. It's like, man, you can't defend this. Easy way. I'm going to show you an easy way to defend this bad boy, okay? It starts, though, in our coaching adjustments. What we're going to do here, right stick in. We're going to go scroll all the way down. Remember, we should have our read key set to conservative. Make sure we're focused on that QB. But then let's go down to our curl flats, and let's set them to 25 or 30. This can depend a little bit based on how deep that corner route is. But let's go 30 right now for the sake of it. Now, with this, we're going to go into that cover 2 shell again. And I'm going to call it cover 3. Could be cover 3 match, could be whatever. Now, remember, I like to shade underneath. And when you shade underneath, cover 3 match just becomes normal cover 3. Same with any kind of match defense. So first, we're going to press Y triangle, shade underneath. Look at this defense. You're saying, Civil, how will this defense defend the corner route? Well, we're going to take one of our players on that side of the field that we think they're going to attack that deep sideline on, and we're going to put them in a curl flat, okay? So that's press A or X on them, and then right on the left stick. That's going to become a curl flat on that player. Now, if we look at this route combo that we've been calling, let's see what happens here. Out route's bagged, and guess what? Corner route, wow. If that happened, that's actually hilarious. Can we get a replay on that of what happened? My player got stuck on another player. If that happens to you, you lose, buddy. You suck. No, that should never happen. I can't imagine that happens again. Maybe it does. Let's do it again. This time, let's watch this. And there we go. Corner route is bagged now. And it's, yeah, that's what that should look like. Now, ideally, your flat defenders, you want them a little bit closer to the sideline, right? So, like, this guy right here, Robinson, is who I'm having in this curl flat. Ideally, he starts out a little bit further out. He doesn't have to, but if you're putting him right here and you're saying, hey, go defend 30 yards on the sideline, it's going to be tough, right? So, you know, maybe if you wanted to bump him out, you could. And then you're going to use her that middle of the field. And right here, you see again, back. So just an easy way. This also does a great job against like crossers and things like that. Put your curl flats at 25, 30, run a zone coverage, have a curl flat on that side of the field. Bada boom, bada bing. RPO read Y flat. This is one of the best RPOs in the game. It's out of gun Y off trips. And if you haven't played against this yet, you will eventually. And it is not very fun to play against. Let me tell you that. And if you haven't ran this at all, you should consider running it. It's in a billion different playbooks. So this is essentially what it looks like, and you can see pretty quickly why this might be annoying, especially because of how hard tackling is in this game. You can just throw it to the tight end and break a tackle here and there, and yada, yada, yada. You can also keep it with your QB or hand this ball off. So right here, I'm going to keep it with the QB, and you're kind of seeing the idea of like, oh, wow, Civil, that could be kind of frustrating, right? Or I'm just going to hand this ball off this time. You get the idea. You get the idea. So how do we stop this play? I'm going to give you a very specific setup. So we're in the 3-3-5 tight defensive playbook. I believe this is the best defensive playbook in the game. And actually, yeah, I am. Okay, I was about to say, no, I'm not. I am in the 3-3-5 tight defensive playbook. And we're going to be calling the 3-3-5 penny, okay? This is, again, I'm going to be very specific on this one, right? Usually I say I don't care formation play. No, this time we're being specific. We're going to call this. Now, play out of this, I don't care a ton, but it needs to be 3-3-5 penny. And we need to be in a zone of some sort. I'll call cover 4 quarters. Wow, big surprise. I'm going back to cover 4 and cover 3, right? Let's go cover 4 quarters. RPO read Y flat. Now with this, all I want to do is press Y or triangle and go down on the right stick. That's going to shade my coverage underneath, which is a common theme here. And we're going to stop this bad boy. Now, I will say this. If he breaks your tackle immediately, you suck. You lose. Okay, I'm sorry. But this will slow it down big time for the most part. This will do a really, really good job. Now, I do want to give you guys another option with this because sometimes things can just be weird, which is simply taking this slot corner and manning him up onto the tight end and moving him inside a little bit. That can just help. Maybe they're doing something weird alignment-wise. You kind of see that right there. Like, they could be doing something weird alignment-wise. There's a few different variations of this play as well. You know, hash marks can play a difference. So there is that, okay? Very easy way to slow this down. 2 ways for you, actually. Bang. Man that guy up when you move him in, and you're able to do a good job. Big thing I did not say is press. Notice what happens if I press. Okay, I don't care about the safety switching. If I press, oh, right there it works, but I'm just going to say this. Pressing can get this slot corner picked up, okay? So just keep that in mind. You could move him inside some here as well in the zone. That can, you know, there's another option for that. Just keep that in mind as well. And big thing. If someone is really, if you are really struggling with this and you can start predicting it, you can start getting out here with your user and opening up other people, right? Either user will come free or another guy will come free. Easy way to stop this play. But I mean, it takes a specific formation. There's other ways to do this from other formations too, but this is just the easiest one for me to teach, I feel like. And again, like I love this defensive playbook. I think this is the defense you want to be running. This has been slightly covered in this video, but I wanted to actually make a little segment dedicated to it, which is just defending RPOs in general, right? And especially RPO reads. The reason reads are kind of special here is because if we look, there's an R icon on my right middle linebacker right here, right? Now, this is the guy who I want to defend this RPO. I'm going to man him up onto this bubble guy. With College Football 25 and in Madden, the read defender can never, ever, ever defend the pass. Let me show you. Notice he did not defend the pass. Now, the other players did a great job. Good job. Thumbs up, but they won't always do that. So, how do we know on defense who the read defender is in any given point? Because we can't actually see this on defense. Well, it's typically going to be the first guy outside of the offensive tackle or the tight end, if there's a tight end on that side, on the side of the halfback. So, who's the first guy outside of the tackle on the halfback side? Is it this guy? Right now, no. Right? And if we look at the read key on offense, you can see this. How about now? Now it is. And so look what happens here. If I man that guy up again, boom, he's going to play that, right? You saw the middle backer go down and play. I just didn't throw it. Okay? So just keep that in mind. One of the easiest ways to stop RPOs is just man up that RPO guy, but also make sure who you're trying to get to play it is not the read key. Easy way to do this is just spread your defensive line, okay? Because now your DNs are going to get outside of the tackles. And right here, bang, pick 6, hopefully. If he doesn't, he should just pick 6 that. But easy way, just man the guy up and then make sure he's not the read key. There's other ways, of course, of stopping this as well. Just this is like the easiest one. And you see right there, we need to pick that, I'll be honest. I need that to be an interception. But hopefully that's somewhat helpful. This is something that gets so overlooked, I feel like, when it comes to how do I stop X, Y, and Z. And it's the idea that you have a user on defense. Now, a lot of people want to use or somebody on the line of scrimmage, like a defensive lineman who's just going to rush the passer. And every once in a while, this could be good, like that right there. If you can do that every time, hey, hey, brother, I'm all for it. Fact of the matter is, you probably don't do that every time. And instead, it kind of looks something more like this, where you're just kind of stuck and you're not really doing anything, right? So instead, what I highly recommend you do is user a yellow zone, okay? Now, why is this important? Like, why do I even care about this? Well, let me show you a few different examples. We're just going to sit in my favorite stock cover 3. I already shaded my coverage underneath. Now, with this, I'm going to defend the middle of the field right here. Right? Boom, boom. Oh, you want to throw B? Well, I'm right there, buddy. And you might be saying, okay, Civil, but the CPU defender could do that. Yeah. Yeah. But could the CPU defender, let's say, do this? Where I'm in the middle. Oh, I'm defending this drag. Now I'm working up, and I'm essentially trying to play numerous routes. Right there actually wasn't my best work ever as a user. But essentially, what you can do as a user is take away and bait numerous routes. Right here's a good example. We'll go underneath. Oh, I'm there. Now I'm working up. Now I'm helping play the drag, and then I'm working back up into the middle. Let me show you another example of this. Let's go here, and let's say this guy's hit me with a corner route a few times. Okay, and I know, like, and at this, I'm a good player, right? Like, we're good players here. So I know he's hit me with a corner route a few times to the left side. Well, oh, I see corner route coming. Now I'm getting there with my middle backer, and I'm applying pressure, or I'm applying coverage to that corner route, where we don't have corner route coverage on the field right now, right? We can all agree on that. I'm not playing the corner route, but I'm here. Oh, he's going back to that corner route play. Shoot. I'm there. User pick just like that. That is one of the biggest things. And we talk about so much, I feel like, man, this is one of the best things that transfers from real football into the video game football is the concept of how do you actually win games, which is the turnover battle. And your user defender allows you to make plays. Because one play, I'm defending this corner route. Now I'm back here in the middle. And I'm like, oh, I'm here. And I'm able to make a play on that if my player doesn't swat it away in front of my face, right? So how do we actually user? Well, we want to be on a yellow zone is my first recommendation. It's all left stick at first until you decide a direction. So right here, left stick. Now I'm trying to run with X. So I'm going to go hold right trigger, which is turbo, to run in a straight direction, right? If I'm trying to defend corner route, I'm holding right trigger to go defend that corner route or something, right? And right there wasn't a corner route. It's just a hypothetical. Some people strafe. I don't do that enough because I feel like it limits your ability to actually move. But I do know some people will say they strafe. So just keep that in mind. Not something I do. 2 strafe is just left trigger. But there's an example, like you can lurk a lot of things. And this is great for defending the seam as well. That's one of my favorite ways to defend the seam that I didn't talk about because it's a little bit more advanced. But let's say, he's hit the seam a few times on the left side over and over, right? Well, okay, buddy. Boom, boom, pick. Just like that, we're in a great position now to win the game. Like, seriously, just by doing that, right? And again, if you can get that insta-shed at this spot, hey, heck yeah, brother. Fact of the matter is, a lot of times you don't. A lot of times you just don't. If you can, cool. I recommend using a middle backer. So let's talk about defending jet touch passes. Some people call these jet sweeps. These can be very, very annoying, especially because a lot of people are going to call these and get to the outside. Now, I want to first talk about what you don't want to do, and that starts with the formation that I'm in right now, actually. Now, the CPU is very bad at this, but you can see the idea is to get to the sidelines. Look at the formation I'm in, and this goes for a lot of different formations. If the goal of the offense is to get to the outside on this play, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people all right here who can't do anything on this play now. As soon as the ball snapped, like they are irrelevant to getting to the outside. The end could set the edge, but these guys are relevant. This makes this a really good play call against this style of defense, okay? Watch again right here. We just get stuck. They're not doing anything. There's no way these guys can make the tackle. And if that's a good CPU, which I'm on Heisman. I'm 99% sure. Yeah. If that's a good CPU or a user, that's an easy, big play. Okay? Now, so what I'd rather do is call formation like dime rush or like 3-3-5 or something. Just something that has like a slot corner that can get outside right there and gives us a little bit more of like a second level of a defense. Like you kind of see right here, right? And if you're worried about it, you can move this guy out. But next thing I want to mention is our user defender. Watch what I do right here. That was really bad by me. Do we know what I did bad? What did I do wrong right there? I got caught up in the mush. This right here is a run that's going to the outside. And where's my user going? Let's go. My user's going straight down. What am I doing? I can't even make a play on that. So what I like to do here there's kind of two methods that I use to stop these touch passes. One I call the loop method, okay, which is essentially trying to, when you see this motion, see it, bang, is taking your user and trying to loop all the way across and trying to force that run back inside. Okay, that is a massive thing. Now, again, this isn't going to be 100% success rate, anything like that, but this will do a good job of just slowing this style of run down out of whatever formation you run right now. Loop, oh, you see that motion? Loop, 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 loop. We're coming free, and we're going to force that run. The goal is to force that run back inside, and if they end up doing something like that, that's a little bit, like, kind of crazy. So that's one big way. Again, let's go here, see if we get this loop going. Oh, touch pass, touch pass, touch pass. Especially, this is a lot easier once they've called it a few times in a game to start, like, seeing it coming. I will say the CPU is kind of popping this a little bit more than I feel like most people online don't do a great job of cutting this in. But let's say we're playing against somebody who's doing a good job. I would probably check into something like cover 4. It's going to have a little bit better run defense. We'll press right here, and then let's see this. Right, let's go here. Little touch pass, bang, little loop. And you see, you can get that user coming free. That's really the goal of the loop right there, is to get that user coming free. We'll show it again really fast. Just because I want this to work at a high success rate for you guys. And to show you that this actually does work. And we're right here again, able to get there with the loop method. Now, the other method is when you see this motion, is to hop on a safety on that side and try blowing the run up by just coming downhill like that. Like, that is it. So if someone's, ideally this would be like someone's like calling this a lot on you. You get on the safety on that side, and you come down and play that super hard. So boom, we're looking to make the play. And either you're going to blow up the halfback, they're going to break your tackle. If they break your tackle, it's kind of whatever. Or you're just going to force that run back inside. Goal with every style stopping this type of run, though, or this jet sweep, is you just want them to have to go back into the teeth of your defense. Because that's where, you know, this style of play, a lot of people won't call it over and over again if it's only getting a few yards. They're looking for a big play out of this. They're looking to beat some kind of blitz with this. And if you can just show that, hey, like, you're not going to get big plays on me, it'll do pretty good for you. If you enjoyed that video, you want to get even deeper with everything we're doing on both sides of the ball, not just defense. You need to check out my website, civil.gg. We have over 1,000 active members there right now, with 98% of them saying that they've won more games since joining. You use code CIVIL30 in the top of the description, and when you go over there, you're going to be able to find full schemes on both sides of the ball, tips. We have an entire search section, which you're able to search literally whatever issues you're having in the game and get actual answers to. So again, if you want to win more games and you enjoyed this video, I think you'd be a great fit for civil.gg. So check that out. Link top of the description.